Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump lit.
What's up, Rashad?
Yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
All right, welcome back. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs. I'm here with Mo Knows tonight. Mo, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing well. I brought you on this time for impromptu live. What's up, Dan? Dan is in the chat already. Never slipping, Dan.
What's good?
But yeah, man. And but my main thing was tonight was watching the streamer awards, man. And it was one obvious just thing that was just missing. It was like this year more than any year, and I think largely in part thanks to Streamer University, there was such a wide range of melanated people just making an impact on the culture. And for that not to be kind of downplayed in this year's Streamer Awards, I mean, more so than ever, because, obviously, I guess traditionally streaming has been one way and been dominated by one side and one demographic. But even in the montages and the compilations, it was almost like they were kind of ignoring some of the stuff. I'm at a loud place right now. It's all right, Dan. It's all right, Dan. If you can't, it's cool either way. It just seemed like there was a disconnect, and they were really trying to downplay it to for the sake of not, I guess, showing it too much. And I kind of had an issue with that. So like I brought you in because we were talking during the show. So, just how do you feel about the show and kind of its inclusions of the accomplishments and marks of Black people?
I honestly, the show was a mess. Like just overall, it was a lot of cringy moments. But as far as like the inclusion of like Black people and stuff, I definitely feel like it was very, I don't know, it's weird. Like they did not incorporate. It was a lot of big moments that they just kind of like flew right past. And I get it where it's like, we want to incorporate all the streamers, So I do get that, but it felt like with you trying to incorporate all the streamers, it was like mainly just people of a lighter complexion. I think the most glaring moment to me that was just kind of wild was especially when they showed the clips of Streamer Prom when doing the whole clip of like the whole entire year. And you show Streamer Prom, but you show Jason the Wing. And you don't show Funny Mike. You don't show Funny Mike at all. You don't show any of the Black people that was at Streamer Prom. It's like they show like a little like the front of Streamer Prom where people walked in, and I don't know exactly who they put there, but you can see it was just like a very fast clip. And then you see like Jason with his date, and then like them kind of turning up, and then it was just like it went right past it. And I was like, that to me was just kind of like, this was a clearly a mainly Black streamer event, and you don't incorporate any of the Black streamers. It's like, if anything, incorporate Funny Mike. Like it should have been a clip of him dancing. Like that's something that should have for sure been included. But it was just, I don't know, it was clearly a clear separation of between the Black streamers and the rest of the streaming community at this point.
And Dante, he came in at the end and he gave his 2 cents. Dante, just being the legendary reactor and commentator he is online, he did what he usually does. However, it was just like is this thing of just like, stop complaining. It's the only thing we got, so stop complaining. And I don't know if I like that train of thought of just like, this is the only thing we got, so we can't complain. I think if you don't complain, how can something get better? Or not even complain, but critique. And I feel like a lot of times people look at critiquing as complaining, and they're like, oh, y'all complaining, y'all hating. And it is like we don't get anywhere. Like the show doesn't get any better because no one can take critiques or criticism, so.
Right. No, I completely agree with that. And I think with you saying that, I get it. That's the only thing you have, but I think it comes to a point where y'all are big enough to where we can have something else. I
Yeah.
most of the people, especially like the whole thing with like DDG, like India coming on stage talking about how Rakai and DDG, they should have won breakout like streamer of the year. And I definitely agree, especially like I sent a thing to Rashad about from Capaholics where they kind of posted like the highlights of DDG. Yeah, like I didn't really even think about it like that. How he has 2 million followers. He had a peak of like 200,000 viewers. He had, just like hitting like so many different subscriber goals and stuff. It was just like he was clearly a, one of the top streamers of the year, and for him to really, yeah, right, exactly, and so I think when you see stuff like that, and if I think about it like this, if DDG, ADAP, and Rakai were all to go live at the same time, for sure, Rakai and DDG are going to have more viewers in their live than ADAP. You know, that's just a fact. And so it's like stuff like that. It's like, how does he get that award then? Like, what's the basis? What's the criteria that we're looking at? Is it because DDG has just been famous for so long, and then he got into this? And I guess maybe that would be like maybe next year Justin Bieber getting breakout streamer of the year. Like you'll be like, hey, Justin Bieber, of course he's gonna have. But I think in this instance, it's like DDG worked hard in this space. It wasn't like he just came on and was doing a bunch of BS and it's like because I'm DDG. It's like no, like he came in and worked extremely hard within the space and in so many different areas. So yeah, I don't know. It's and I completely agree. I understand them wanting to have each other's back because it's like, we're all in the streamer world, and I get it. Cutie was like, she worked hard to put this together. And
But here's another thing, Mo. I want to say this too. I don't think if you're the founder of the event, you should be the host for the whole show.
yeah.
Don't you think you're spreading yourself a little bit thin? If you're the one that organize, get the venue, get the sponsors, make sure you place all the ad placements throughout the show. Organize, set up all the tables of where all the the content creators and streamers are going to sit at. Hire the people, hire the writing team to write the jokes, which you said, which were mostly cringe and stuff like that throughout the night. If you're gonna do all of that, you don't need to be thinking about, dang, I gotta look pretty and put on a smile and make jokes and make everybody feel warm and welcome at this show. That don't even make sense.
Right. No, and that's a very good point. And I feel like that was shown throughout this entire production. Like they were spread too thin. They weren't prepared, like in just so many different areas. And like the writers of like the jokes were just bad. The girl fan was really bad. I think even if she tried a couple of them jokes, like, and she was able to deliver them better, maybe they could have actually kind of landed. But it was just so cringe the entire time. Like, and as I said, I came in about halfway through, I would assume, because it been on for a little minute. But yeah, when I clicked on, it was just, I was like, this is bad. And that's why Ty Lil was just like, if you're gonna make jokes, like make them funny, especially like that right after she made the joke about, Kai had the most expensive haircut and and congrats on your new doc, trying to call him Diddy. And then it's like, if the joke don't land, just move past it. But then that was the thing that really made it even worse, was when the jokes didn't land, they kind of like they would, what's the exact word I'm thinking about? They kind of just didn't move on.
Right. They didn't pivot.
Exactly. It's just like if the joke don't land, it's just like, well, okay, well, it's like keep it pushing. But then you'll kind of be like, well, I thought the joke was funny, and blah blah blah, and then kind of maybe say something else, and then it'll just be kind of awkward, and the very ending of it where Cutie, like the person was like, Wendy gonna win next year, and then she was like, what did you say? And then Wendy Ortiz, she gonna win next year. It's like you shouldn't even really even. You should have been like, okay, well, I guess we'll see. All right, well, thank y'all for coming out, But now you over here like, this really just happened? Like, oh my gosh. Like, it's like, bro, like just move on. Like, wrap it up.
Bro. Okay. All right. I had a suggestion of who could be a host, but I'm just do it. Can I do the announcement? We're 10 minutes in. I'm gonna do the announcement.
Yeah.
I waited so long to say this, and Dan's talking about the SEC championship. Shouts out to Prairie View for winning the SWAC championship as well. Shouts out to Indiana for the upset over Ohio State. We got that out the way.
Hey, go Dogs.
There it is. So, with that being said, right? We're 11 minutes in. I waited this long to say this and to do this. I'm gonna clip this up as a whole nother clip because I don't want people to have to wait 11 minutes for it. My idea is I know it's gonna be taken. I know someone's gonna do it, and I know I'm not gonna get any credit for it. And I know everybody's gonna act like they don't know who I am because I have 5,000 subscribers at the moment we're recording this. It happens time and time again. This isn't the first time this happened to me in the industry. That's why I'm saying all this. That's why I'm giving the thing. But not only do y'all know I've met a lot of these folks, I've interacted with a lot of these folks. You see it on my channel. You seen Rage on my channel. You seen Tylil on my channel. You seen Kai, Duke, Agent, Chris. You seen all these jokers on my channel. Ray, Davis. So you seen it for yourselves. So when it happens, you seen Speed. You see me shake hands with Speed. Now I'm sure the Speed interaction wasn't enough for him to like know who I was, but you get the point. When it happens, just remember I said it first. There needs to be a Black Streamer Awards. Oh, also I want to say that I've been interviewing DDG since 2019. That's stamped. That's on the channel. You can look at the timestamps. There needs to be a Black Streamer Awards, bro. And I would think it should be in Atlanta. And then we should have gospel represented in the performances. We should have jazz represented in the performances, as well as an R&B song. And of course, rap is probably going to dominate it because rap just runs things. Rap is the culture. And so we're going to have that. And we need the sponsors for it. We need the people for it. And then we definitely need the connections to get the biggest streamers to show up. Because if Kai and Speed don't show up, then now we in trouble of like looking like the ghetto award show. Kai and Speed got to show up. DDG got to show up. I'm pretty sure we can get folks like Capaholics and, Clover to show up. But we need to get the AMPs and FaZe to show up. FaZe might be a little more shaky, but if I can get Max, I'm cool with FaZe not showing. but this is what needs to happen. There's no reason for these jokers to have Max, Black Boy Max in the building, Grammy nominated, just dropped his mixtape, his album, EP, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. Drake just, kind of, I don't know if you saw that. Drake kind of made fun of the cover and said Iceman coming soon, and he put his face on it. Stuff like that. Just now, just
I didn't
tonight.
see that.
He did it on a plot twist page. But yeah. To have Black Boy Max in the building, have DDG come on because you guys had Ty Dolla $ign performing. And Ty Dolla $ign thought it was, I don't know if it was Ty Dolla $ign to bring DDG on or whatever it was. But to have DDG in the building and Rakai in the building and not perform two of the most viral songs created on stream this year. If you want to, award shows should be representatives of that year. It should be a time capsule of what 2025 was. And the two biggest songs viral that were created on stream, Jason the Ween had a song as well, the little love song that went crazy. Everybody was loving it. But for the most part, it was and when I'm out of town, I'll be tripping, I'll be on one. We didn't hear one of them songs once. And you had all three of the jokers that's affiliated with the song in the building. That's a problem. DDG has performed at the Streamer Awards before. They've had, I don't know if Max has performed before. I remember Chris Next Door performed a couple years ago. That is an issue. You good, Mud? We didn't see that clip once tonight. These are some of the, like, you're talking about culture shifting moments. You had Kevin Hart talking about my ball. You had the Joker, the little baby chief went Kanye West. He talking about my ball. All these people talking about my ball. That's DDG. We ain't hear one my ball reference tonight. The culture was shifted, and it started with Twitch moments. The word of the year was what? Mo, you remember what the word of the year was?
No.
Or the word that was added to the dictionary? It was like or something like that.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think or is already or, but it was some word that comes from the world of streaming. And the year before that, the word of the year was Riz. So it
Right.
was like literally the culture, the way that people speak, the way that people interact with each other. Like you have SZA on the song with Kendrick Lamar talking about Chad, shut up all that, but this is the biggest moment of streaming and its connection to culture, and that wasn't represented at all tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the biggest thing. So I want to do the Black Streamer Awards. I want to throw it. We want to have it in Atlanta. We want to have the biggest streamers there and everything like that to make sure we accurately represent the culture and give people their flowers, their represent flowers. Like we want so Spencer to be nominated in the women's category. We want um we want Brooklyn Frost to get some shine because I know Brooklyn, she felt the way. We want TT to get her shine. We want India Love to get her shine for the low moments that she had. Regardless of how you feel about India Love, she done had some viral moments with streaming, and she played a part in of some of the best moments in streaming university.
Right.
We want Deshae Frost to get his shine. You know, he got on stage a little bit. He got a little few minutes, but he's going to get it even more at the Black Streamer Awards. We want Capaholics to get to get their shine and to get acknowledgement. We want AMP to win something. We want RDC to win something. We want RDC to win something. We want to have a category for best event and not just best streamed event, but best event. Them jokers do DreamCon, and they done had 50,000 folks from all over the world come dressed up in their cosplay 3 years, and they run that thing flawlessly for the past I don't know how many years Mark and them been doing it. That needs to be acknowledged. They need to be rewarded for that. Kalani Rogers, when she comes out with this TV show, she needs to be awarded for that coming from the streamer space. Kai said he wants to leave the streamer space and do TVs and movies and directing and writing and stuff like that and fashion. That needs to be acknowledged when Kai does that and he, completes that transition. But also, we need to look at Kalani Rogers and some of the other kids who have come from the streaming space. It's much like how YouTube has created all of these celebrities and all of these people that we see in the culture now: Donald Glover, Justin Bieber, Chloe and Halle. All these people who run the culture: Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo. They all came from YouTube. Same thing needs to happen with all these kids that are coming from the streaming world, and we need to acknowledge that. So that was my idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But yes, with that being said, Mo, the thing I wanted to say, my suggestion: who could be a host? Because you need a host that's witty and this and that. That's why they usually get comedians and writers to do it.
I would for sure say Ben.
Ben, 100%. Because if you say, what would have happened if Ben would have been walking down that road, and then Talil said, if you're gonna say some jokes, say some funny. What would have happened if Ben was the host?
Oh, Ben would have started roasting. You muted. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. What would have happened if what would have happened if Ben would have looked up in the balcony and someone talking about Wendy going to win next year?
He would have had a joke for him. He would have said something.
Instead of what we saw happen tonight.
Exactly.
At the Black Streamer Awards, I'm gonna have Ben the Don host. We're gonna have a comedian category. We're gonna have Reggie. We're gonna have Ben. We're gonna have Deshae. We're gonna have Bruce nominated for something. We're gonna have Cuffham nominated for something. We're gonna have Shank over there in Nigeria nominated for International Streamer of the Year. We're gonna have Kai, the Worldwide Icon of the Year award. We're gonna have Kai Sinat, the Creative Genius, creative. We're gonna have all of that. We're gonna have the Pivot Award going to DDG. This joker DDG controlled the internet in the midst of DV allegations with the Little Mermaid, with
Right.
Rock Nation and Beyonce allegate. Come on, bro. DDG did. He needs to be acknowledged for that.
Right.
So these are just some of the things that we need to acknowledge. It seems like obvious things in the moment, but when you look back on it and you aren't awarded for any of it, it looks crazy. J. Cole not having a Grammy until a lot when he was featured on a 21 Savage song is insane. These things need to be acknowledged and people need to receive their flowers in the moment.
Right. No, I completely agree. Real quick, the word that you were talking about, parasocial.
Parasocial.
Yeah. But no, I completely agree. I think there needs to be a clear. We need to acknowledge the people while they're doing these great things in front of us, but also it's just like we need to acknowledge the people, and because it's more realistic. I think the most of the people, like as I was telling you over text, I'm like, you got people, you got Clover Boys, you got AMP, you got Speed, and all these people they have major sponsorships. Like they're bigger and richer than probably about 90% of that building. Like, and that's just being honest. So but they're the people like Kai, of course, and Speed. They got their acknowledgement. But then it's like outside of that, like you're gonna say FaZe is the biggest, and I guess maybe maybe in the streaming world, because I think with AMP they are very heavily on YouTube. So maybe their YouTube presence is probably a little bit bigger. I think Agent is like the most consistent streamer. You got Phantom. Phantom is very he's relatively consistent, but then it's like the rest of them don't really stream all that much, Like Kai streams, of course, but then when he streams, it's usually like bigger events. He don't really just hop on and just chat as much as he used to. They didn't even show the AMP pool party.
Crazy. They didn't even acknowledge AMP Summer.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, so that, but I do get it with like maybe FaZe with in just the streaming world, and then they had that moment where they were all in the top like 7, So they had their moment, but I realistically, as I said, the breakout where you're going to give it to somebody in FaZe as opposed to DDG or Rakai. I think really, if you don't give it to DDG because of maybe his past, like fame, okay. But Rakai got like, he's been around just a little bit, kinda, but this past year, this man is through the roof. It's like literally every football player that scores a touchdown is doing the Rakai dance. I saw CeeDee Lamb do the Rakai dance. Like CeeDee Lamb, bro. Like you could say it's like, oh, it's all the younger players. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is relatively young, but it's still like, bro, it's I don't know. There's a disconnect there. And I think, if we had and it would just be better in general. I think we would probably take more time. I think, shoot, In Too Deep, Are You My Ball, both of those were better productions than what I saw tonight.
Facts.
Just to be honest, like the production on both of those were better. And that was like my biggest thing. That was just, and not only was
on 3.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I wasn't even gonna mention that because that was just clearly that was clearly a whole nother level. But it's just like, man, like y'all showing the wrong people. Like in the midst of, I don't know if you saw, in the midst of Senna accepting an award for the Sapphire Award, which is supposed to be this really big award. In the middle of her giving her speech, they pull up Gamer of the Year.
Oh no.
Yeah, like literally that came on the screen in the middle of her speech. And it's like the production missed so many marks. It's like you're showing the wrong people. It was just like, what are y'all doing? So yeah, we just gotta they need to do better. And I get it. This is all that you have right now, but just because it's all you have doesn't mean it's the best that you can do.
100%. And like you said, it's the little things, bro. Like it's little things of the reason why I feel like representation is so important with everything. Because shout out to QT, you know what I'm saying? I think she tried to do a good job with representation because all of the hosts were women. And that's fine and dandy, but you ain't have no black woman.
Right.
So it's like, and then you kept pressing phase and you kept trying to joke on black creators, like, and then you try to, kind of balance it out by telling the little Hassan shocking his dog jokes and then the extra Emily driving jokes. But most of the jokes was to the black creators. And you ain't have no black women up there, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying you kept pressing phase about y'all hate women, y'all misogynistic, and y'all homophobic, and it's like, okay, well, you trying to be the world's most representation lady. You ain't have one black woman out there the whole night. You ain't have a black woman presenting an award.
Right.
Black folks presenting an award. It was Shay Frost, Dante. And who else? That was black. Senna ain't even presenting an award.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Senna didn't even didn't even go up there.
So that's what I'm saying. So the reason why this is such a thing for me, bro, is because you had fun, right? Walk the floor, and
Fan.
hey, it's a dap, by the way. You were saying a dap.
You're right. My bad.
Yeah. but hey, that proved your point. But you had Fan walking the floor, and she said, we got Streamer University graduates here. Ray and Tota. Where's Tota? Oh, Tota's not here. Well, we have Ray. The rest of the table, Clover, was at Streamer University.
Right.
And then behind you, that was looking right at you in the camera, was Jamal, Speed little brother. He would have loved that acknowledgement. So you didn't do that. Okay, cool.
And then, I was gonna say also, like she mentioned Ray and Tota because the joke was like she'll finna say, well, if you got for both here, then at least we could we'll at least have at least we'll have somebody that can speak English, or like we'll have like a full English, like trying to say that neither one of them can speak English, so together then maybe it can equal English. I can't remember the exact joke that she made, but she tried to like slip it in there, and it was just like it wasn't really hidden. You could tell Ray was just like, okay.
You just can't tell the obvious. Like, I felt like a lot of the jokes that were written were just the obvious stuff that people have been saying. Like the Kai getting his haircut and then being compared to Diddy. Like, people told that joke the whole Mafia Down 3, bro. Like the whole month, people told that joke. Like, if you're gonna tell a joke, tell it in a way like I like the Dan Clancy and Senna joke, and you didn't understand that one, and I explained it to you. It's like, okay, I get it. But like I like that one because it was a different way to tell like an obvious elephant in the room thing. But yeah, with Fan, so she go over, she says we have another duo, Phantom and Chris. Chris was going to the bathroom, right? So she's there with Phantom talking, and then Stat Baby right there laughing. And I'm like, she moved on to the next table to talk to whatever the girl name is, the next girl, someone I know. But I'm like, you ain't even acknowledge Stat Baby, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who Stat Baby is. That's what I'm saying. These are cultural things that just with different representation, we can get a whole different show with the same amount of people in the room. Mm-hmm. Man, what? Can you imagine what the show would have been like if you would have had someone who could handle that type of situation, knows what's going on, is connected, has a pulse on the culture? Man, that thing is...
Yeah, and just also the constantly saying, "Well, these are the jokes that they gave me." You
gotta pivot at some point.
Exactly. When you didn't said the Rakai stealing joke for like the fifth time.
3 times, yeah, at least 3 separate occasions.
And like Cutie at the end was just like, she had said, she had made the joke about Rakai, like the stealing thing, and she was like, "I'm sorry, this is these are just the jokes my writer told me," and it's just like, bro, then don't say it. You ain't gotta say every joke, Like I get it, you're trying to fill the time, but it feels like y'all didn't really rehearse. And I get it. You saying like the writers are giving you these jokes or whatnot, but it's like at some point, like go off script and be like, hey, like I'm just actually not going to say this one. Like just because it's on the teleprompter, don't mean you have to say it.
It's your show. You the founder of the show. Mo, we at the 30-minute mark. I said I was going to get you out of here in 30 minutes. I saw this tweet and it stood out to me. CT Cinderella spent $1 million on the Streamer Awards and this is a production. $1 million on that, you should ask for your money back. $1 million I get for the venue and the tables and everything setting that up. I get it. On a Saturday night in LA, oh yeah, $1 million. I could totally see that. The red carpet, everything like that. Yeah. The production. I don't know if DDG spent. DDG might have spent $1 million.
No, he said he spent some. I think he said he missed some meals.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if some meals, but I know he spent he said he spent upward towards $1 million.
Yeah, he said he spent a lot of money on it. But that Are You My Ball, that with the camera angles and the audio, like everything was on point. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I want to see the clip.
Okay, yeah. I think it was the flight thing. I'm scared to kind of play too much of it because I feel like it might get copyrighted. So I'll put it on like 1.5. But this was when Flight 1 there. Hold on.
It's a big category. Come on. It's a big category. Come on.
That was a constant thing the whole night where it was just the production didn't realize the cues. So it's just like go on, but and then there'll be like those awkward little moments where you're just waiting for the video to start.
But then blaming the people for not sitting in their seats and saying the camera's fixed on like the assigned seats.
Yeah,
it's like that's on production because you know the shot you about to cut to. If it's a Plat-Boy Max and the camera is on Deshae Frost, someone in production, you should have a production team. That's not Deshae. I mean that's not Max. That's not Max. And then you have this. It was like you said. It was just too much of that. And
they were just putting the wrong names out.
Yeah.
Was one point when Phantom got nominated for an award, the award that I think he actually ended up winning. Yeah. They didn't put his name up there. They put the first person in the next category up there. And I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I was so confused. I was like, what am I looking at right now? Why are they showing Phantom? Like, did they say
bro, look at DDG face.
Black Boy Max.
It's not hard. And this, as you said, it shows the clear disconnect because, as you said, you see how they could have Japanned the camera over. It like easily could have panned. It's like you're supposed to be a good producer, and I don't know like what their production room was. I don't know if it was just like one guy and just trying his best, never done nothing like this before. But I'm like, y'all done had Streamer Awards for multiple years now. Right. So that's where I was a little confused. This is my first time watching, but I would have swore this was the first ever one. And it's like before you pan, like I've seen like how it looks in the back where, they have the cameras. You can see all the cameras at once. And you just say, go to camera 2, but if it's like realistically, if you can just tell him like pan over, that's not Plat-Boy, but y'all don't know. And then kept it there too. Like just kept it there like, oh, I guess it's some black person over there.
But I'm saying like, even if, because I get it on one side of like not knowing all the streamers, because I ain't know none of the white streamers outside of the FaZe folks. I ain't know none of them jokers.
Right.
So I get that on one end. On another end, I mean, I knew who Ludwig was. Shout out Ludwig.
Yeah.
But like in Clicks, I know who Clicks is. But like it's just okay. So when you do media, right, for an award show, they give you a call sheet with everybody's headshot on it and with their name. They definitely have that in the production room. And you should study it even more if you're in production and you don't know most folks' name that's black.
Right.
I don't watch the Shay, I don't watch DDG, I don't watch Max. Let me see who these jokers is, because I only know how Kai and Speed look. You need to study that. That's on you. That's your job.
Facts. And I'll say to the final point of why we need a Black Streamer Awards is because the Black streamers are bigger than most. As I was saying, most of these people, like, they're bigger than Cutie at this point. When Cutie put this together, she was one of the bigger. She is still a pretty big star in this space,
like Pokemon.
Exactly. It was like you was up there, and so to be acknowledged by these people for a lot of these Black creators felt like an honor. But I'm sure for Kai, Kai went up there and said, I just came up here to get the award for Streamer U. Like, he was like, that's the reason I'm even here. But it's like, to be acknowledged by these people, it don't feel the same. And I think that was, like, honestly, genuinely, I really feel like most of those people, you're kind of looking at their faces throughout this whole thing. You could kind of feel like this don't hit the same, because it's especially like for somebody like Kai, it's like that man was at the he was at the Grammys,
the
VMAs,
the awards.
Yeah, it's like I was at all these great big productions and rooms full of stars, and it's like, he's still like, hey, I started from somewhere, so like I do appreciate, and I'm gonna show love. And I think that's also why they're in this room, to still continue to validate it for the people that is coming up, But I think at the same time, it was just that disconnect where it's just like this don't feel the same. It don't mean the same, Like, when I am bigger than the people that are putting this on now, like, you'll never be bigger than the Grammys. No one will ever be truly bigger than the Grammys. So it will still kind of have its significance, even though, people like Drake kind of be like, because he's like one of the main people in The Weeknd. Those two people are big on like, this don't really mean nothing, like, but at the same time, it still means something to receive the award. And in the streaming space, it does, like, the win streaming of the year. I think for Speed, it was like, because Kai's won it, the last 3 years? So I think that's another reason why Speed was probably there, because it's like, hey, this is my moment to win, because I probably been wanting to win this for a minute, So this is my moment to finally win this, but we're going to see how next year turns out, because with the way that things are going, seeing they didn't get nominated, yeah, they definitely should have been nominated for Best Stream Duo.
Stream Duo. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Come on now.
I was busy moving, so I ain't really say, but we've definitely been talking about this. Am I, like, maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm just out of touch.
Bro, we could be under a rock.
Maybe, like, but how do we not get nominated for this?
Not even have to win, but nominated, like, I thought that was.
And shout out to everybody on this list.
Bro,
These
come
are all
on,
my,
bro.
I fuck everybody on this list.
For sure.
But when I think stream duo, I'm thinking actual stream duos. Not two streamers who collab on content.
That should have been another award. That should have been collab of the year award.
That should have been a completely different
collab of the year.
When I think of duos, I think of, like, besides us, who else I'm thinking of, like Lost Polos and his dad.
And his pops. Yeah, Lost Polos and his pops.
That's a true duo. Like, they
stream together, bro.
Together.
Exactly.
They don't have separate streams. Like, that is a stream. Them two. That's a duo.
A duo, yeah, best stream duo, bro.
Like, it's something that I'm like, damn, like, I couldn't think of a better. Like I was for damn sure we was gonna get nominated.
Bro, at least nominated. I don't even care about
what?
winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least the nomination, though, bro.
But then I seen the people got nominated. I'm like, well, okay, these are all dope content creators, but like they're not duos. They just collabed on stream. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah.
My thing with them, I don't think they campaign for themselves though.
Right.
Like it's fan nominated, fan voted. Like I ain't see them once say, y'all make sure y'all vote for us for Stream Duo. Like that's the only thing I could think of. But at the Black Streamer Awards, they're gonna be acknowledged. Go ahead, Mo.
I was gonna say also, I don't think they don't collab with as many other streamers. I think that's why they don't get mentioned in a lot of these streaming spaces because of their lack of collaboration. Like they just do their own thing, and that's fun
because they missed a flight.
Right. No, facts. So I mean, I don't know. Do you feel like Complex is a black like
no
huh?
No.
So you think like Complex is just like overall culture? Like I guess
I think Complex, their main demographic is like just black culture because they acknowledge like black culture, but it's not black owned. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying black owned.
That's what I'm saying. It's like so I can't call Complex black when it's black owned publications out there.
No, that's why I was
like
getting
to
like
no,
I was thinking like
out, et cetera,
culture wise. Like, do you think the majority of their stuff is black culture?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was getting. I know it's for sure not black owned, and I wouldn't call it black, but no, what made me think of that is because so many times like I see, Complex Pop and stuff like that, but it's interesting because if you think about Complex Pop, their like Instagram page, outside of like in the streaming world, when they do show stuff with streaming, it is mainly black creators, but then they'll show stuff with like Pokimane, they'll show stuff with Senna, like Senna's technically black, but it's like, but she collabs with like, especially when it's her, Valkyrie or Valkyrie, them three. Yeah, cause you're gonna see mainly black because that's all the headlines is about what the black creator did tonight. But I do be seeing stuff about them, but I see mainly like black creators. But then I'll see a lot of stuff about like Sydney Sweeney. I'll see stuff about Sabrina Carpenter. I'll see stuff about Olivia Rodrigo, about Tate McRae, stuff like that. But when it comes to the streaming space, it's usually black creators that I see. So that's why I was asking, do you feel like it's just majority black culture? But like, it's interesting, as I said, like I'll see when it's outside of the streaming world, they show other races and other genres, but I feel, and the reason I'll get into that point is this to me is like, they show mainly black culture because like most of the clips that we see, like from like the Fear Buck and all the different stuff, is black creators for the most part. You do see some white creators in there, but it's mainly like black creators. And I'm like, is there a separate clips page for white creators, or do they just not make content worth clipping most times? Like, not trying to be shady, but like, like, as I said, maybe it's best example, there's this Instagram page called 433. Never heard of it until this year. It's a soccer page, right? Never heard of it a day in my life. I like, bro, yes. Look how many, yeah, show it on the screen, bro. 77 million followers. Never heard of it a day in my life until this year, bro. And I'll follow in BR football, BRFC or whatever, ESPN FC and all that different stuff. And then I came across this page one day, and then I was like, what the heck? And so it was a whole other world going on, that was deeper into it. So that's why I say maybe there is a clips page for white creators, you know, that we just don't know about. That is, you know, but as I said, like mostly I'm seeing black creators, and I don't know if because of my algorithms or is it they're just not making content that is. I guess most of the white creators are just gamers and stuff, you know, like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, the internet is definitely the most like kind of tunneled place in the world, like ever. At the same time, is you just got to look at like crossover into real life, and if the kids are saying 6'7", which came from a black kid from OTE, and which came from a rap song of a black guy in Philadelphia, if the kids are saying Riz and Aura and Parasocial and my ball, like all of you, and you good mud and doing this, like that all came from black people. Yeah, so that's how I look at impact, because like you said, like just niche and who's watching each other the most, that's all based on your algorithm and who you watch the most, you know what I'm saying, and who you click on and stuff. But the crossover into real life is where you can see the true impact across the board, and that's what we see the most. 6'7", twin. Like the white folks were saying twin tonight on the show. I said, all right, bro, like come on now. Like
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. I think, you know, as I said, I get it. They want to include, because realistically, I will say the Twitch space is more of white people in general, or more, you know, more other cultures. I ain't gonna just say only white people, but more of other cultures. But I feel the people who have risen to the top at this point is more of the black creators, and it should be more acknowledged.
well, because I feel like who would you say got black people really into streaming? What would you say it was? Like, I mean, because Flight been streaming the whole time he been doing YouTube, but I felt like it wasn't a thing until like the IRL content with maybe Kai.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking. I was like, I feel Kai.
Low key that started from Aiden though, as you know, as racist or prejudice, whatever you want to throw on Aiden, as Aiden really started that kind of for black people, which sounds crazy to say out loud. But Aiden, he kind of like really inspired the way that Kai streams, and then that kind of, you know, pyramid effect. Because Kai was like the open the floodgates up for everybody else.
Right.
So I say that.
No.
But yeah. Oh, go ahead, Ma. I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh no, I was just saying that's a fact. Like I guess that I definitely would agree that Aiden probably, from what I've seen, as I said, I haven't been like super tapped in forever, but from what I've seen, the first person that I really saw like getting, and you know, I guess Aiden collabed with a lot of black people, so it has kind of felt like he's one of the main like proponents of that. So, but man, I don't know, man. As I said, like there's a whole other world within the Twitch space where it's the, you know, they had like the gamer of the year. I don't watch people game, you know. There's the, what was that? The Marvel Rivals, you know, streamer of the year, the speed run of the year. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. You know?
Yeah. VTubers, like that's fine. That's fine. You can have that. You can keep the streamer awards going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, it's like, as controversial these people are, it would be nice to have a category of, like we were talking about, academics, Tasha K, and Milagro, and who's the messiest. You know what I'm saying? Like Breakfast Club does Twitch streams every night. Like best talk show. I don't know, something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be nice to see academics up for an award within the streaming space, because he is a impactful streamer. And has been for the past 10 plus years.
Does YouTube which pays better, YouTube or Twitch in streaming?
I don't stream on Twitch. I just stream on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, because I wonder, you know, DG get, I always, one thing you can always say about DDG, he gives great advice sometimes, you know, not like, actually a lot of times, you know, he really be like telling people like, yo, he be putting a lot of people on to a lot of stuff. And I think the advice that he gave Rakai during this was like, go to YouTube, go dominate that space. Because the only person that's really on there is Speed. And like Speed has that whole situation on lock. When on Twitch, there's so many people that you're competing with consistently. And I think Rakai, if he did that, that would be a great look for him to go ahead and just take over, like step into that lane. And then that opened up such a broader, you know, audience for him, a new revenue. And then when Twitch, you know, he does get his Twitch back, he can just hop back into that. But now you got this whole new fan base on YouTube. But I will also, if I was YouTube, I would start making it more beneficial for people to come over and wanting to stream more on YouTube. And because then you can, as I said, I just feel it's just an area that so much money to be made where they can make more money and then the YouTubers can make more money. And then also that's where you end up seeing like they can make a YouTube stream awards, you know, a YouTube awards in general, you know? And I think like that's where you'll see like academics start getting nominated because he mainly streams on YouTube, you know? Like that's where I usually see all his streams is like YouTube. And I think he's on like another platform too.
Rumble,
yeah. So but yeah, I don't know. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, when you mentioned the academics part, I was like, if I was YouTube, I would start making it more beneficial for people to stream more on your platform. You know, it's like you got the money to make it happen. So,
and I think YouTube they are trying that and stuff like that. I want to play this before I get back to this Kai and Speed thing.
That's Ding Clancy, nigga. Stan,
Hey,
what's up, bro?
how y'all doing?
What's up, my
man?
boss?
How you doing?
Good to
How you
see you,
doing?
bro.
Long time to see.
Oh.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, bro. Good question. Why I been here?
You know that. You know why, man. You know why. You don't have to ask me. They communicated with you, man. I don't know the details. I don't do this. You know why.
So you don't ban people?
Huh?
You don't ban people?
I don't what?
You don't ban the people?
I don't do it. No.
Oh, why you saying ban him though?
No. Nope, that's not my job.
Okay.
There's a whole team that does that. I do not do it.
So you just own Twitch though?
I don't own Twitch.
So,
I'm the CEO of Twitch.
so you own it?
No. The Twitch is owned by Amazon.
I ain't gonna lie, Rakai might be real deal stupid, bro.
nah, for real though.
So you're like the head boss.
I'm the CEO of Twitch.
That's our boss.
But to be clear, there's teams that make these decisions. I don't make these decisions.
Okay.
Other people make the decisions. And you know why you were banned. Oh, you do. Your SPM told you why you were banned. I don't know, but you know why.
So yeah. Oh, that was a clip right there. Of
Yeah.
Him. But this one right here, the love you, bro. I definitely think Kai made an effort to go over there, take this picture.
Right.
With the caption, love you, bro. I think the Kai and Speed debates and comparisons all year have worn on him. As he said when he won his first award, I've just been dealing with a lot mentally this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that he was dealing with mostly were him and the conversations with him and Aiden and him and Speed. And, you know, and then Zoe as well. But, you know, like, he kind of ran away from all of those when people kind of confronted him about it in his chat. And I think that in turn ultimately just stacked up among him to where, like he said, he had kind of, you know, mental kind of things he was dealing with. Anything you want to say about these two brothers? Because, I mean, they literally had a show together. It didn't have to get this far, but I felt like he let it get that far by trying not to acknowledge it.
I mean, I don't think there's no real animosity between them. I think, you know, there definitely is comparison that the fans, you know, constantly are comparing them, especially with, you know, them doing their subathons or like, you know, streams, you know, their marathons during the same time, you know, so it definitely where a lot of fans started comparing them like, well, yeah, like Kaj, you're not as good as Speeds, and like, you know, Kaj wasn't trying to outdo Speed, you know, Speed wasn't trying to outdo Kaj. They were literally two separate, you know, contents that you could enjoy one or the other, and or enjoy both, you know, you kind of go back and forth. So I think this was one of those, like, you know, y'all constantly pit us against each other, but like we're not in competition with each other. Like, I think they're both individually at the top of the mountain, you know? I think it's not like neither one of them are stepping on each other's toes. Is this year, you know, Speed won Streamer of the Year, you know, and Kai didn't, but Kai won what, 4 awards tonight? So yeah, you know, it's and Kai's what, 3 times Streamer of the Year. So
and Tota and Ray won.
yeah, you know, so it's like for Kai, it's like, man, you know, but I do agree. I think he did go out of his way for the sake of, I feel like a lot of the fans are constantly putting them against each other, and neither one of them they've collabed so many. It'd be different if they've never collabed, you know, and or even if maybe they did like a collab once or twice. Like, they've done a lot of stuff together prior to this year, you know. So
I mean, they have a show. They have a show.
What's the show?
It's those streams that they do is part of a show. Like, they had an agreement with Rumble, and I think they moved it over to like Twitch. But like all those streams you saw, like the one that they did in the woods with Tiana Trump, that was a part of the show. The one where they would be like in Waffle House and do the little gaming marathons, that was a part of the show. Like, it was like probably something like they probably had to do. It felt like they were doing streams together, like one stream together, like a marathon or something like that, every 2-3 months. It felt like, and that was probably part of their agreement. But yeah, that's their show. That's why they always be streaming together.
Oh, okay, yes, I didn't know it was a show. But I've seen
it's all business. It's all business. Under all of this is business.
No, fact. But I think but it seemed like they genuinely have a good relationship, you know. So, but as I said, I think he did want to go out his way to show, like, hey, it ain't nothing between us. Like, we are both, you know, just doing our thing, and yeah, man, I think they're both, like, as I said, two people at the top of the mountain, you know, and the mountain has enough space for both of them because they're doing two completely different things. But I think one of the I kind of could feel it, especially with him talking about this was going to be the last like Mafia-thon and everything. I kind of felt like there's like, for him, it was a feeling of this starting to transition away from streaming, because I really feel like for Kai, he feel like he's kind of like, as I said, like beat the game, you know? It's like I've done, the only thing left for him to really do is to do another, like to continue the streamer university.
Right.
And I think that's the only thing that will really like make him feel motivated for the streaming stuff now. Because like just doing like the just chatting, you know, and all that stuff, I don't think that really, like, you could tell he's just not as in love with it anymore.
It just ran him down. It just ran him down. So it was like, and then he got into social media in general just to do comedy. I mean, to do TV and movies like that. That was his whole goal from day one. So it's like now he's at that point, and like when he got in with Kevin, he was telling Kevin that, and Kevin was like, "No, you need to stay with streaming." But he was trying to leave the first time he met Kevin. He was saying it on stream and stuff like that. So, you know, that was Kai's, you know, goals and stuff like that. Speed, his goal was to just do social media, and you could hear that when he won Streamer of the Year. He said, "I love streaming. I have a lot of stuff coming for 2026. Here's a flip and a Sui." And you know, so shout out to Speed, congratulations, Speed. But yeah, man, we let you get an hour. That's a whole extra 30 minutes than what you were supposed to do. So please go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. over there. I got work in the morning as well, but I'm about to bring on Dan. And yeah, Mo, anything else that you want to say?
Nah, that's pretty much it, man. Shout out to, all the people that's, I just watched the Dave Chappelle Dreamer comedy special.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it at the time that it came out because the shorty who I was dealing with, she was like really big on LGBT and all that stuff. And then she had we kind of got into an argument because she was like, yeah, people were saying this and that. And I was like, you ain't even watch it. And then, then it was just kind of I don't know, from there, I was like, you know what, I'm going to just watch this later. And because the first joke was about trans people. And then I was just like, I'm just, all right, well, I'm going to get to this later. But I finally watched it. But the more I'm bringing this up is because at the very end, it was very inspiring, where he brought up just, him being a dreamer. Him going back to where his first ever comedy special was. Hey, shout out to you, Big Dan. Where his first ever comedy special was. And then him having this dream, and then him finally, and realizing for other people that sometimes you're in their dream, but it's just all about continue to dream and continue to whatever you want to achieve. So I say all that to say, man, everybody out there, especially with the streaming, you were talking about Kai and Speed, these are products of people who are dreamers. So anybody out there listening, man, keep dreaming. My boy Rashad is a dreamer. I don't know if he's been dreaming since he was 14 to be a YouTuber, but
definitely not.
Yeah, but hey, my boy did always want to get into sports and journalism. I don't know how long that's been your dream as well.
And I was 10.
Yeah, so it's just hey, this is a manifestation of all that, Bet I got you. Yeah, by the end of this month, I'm gonna definitely check because Iceman on the way. But but yeah, man. Hey, everybody out there, keep dreaming, keep doing your thing, man. Anything you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Lock in, and the world is yours. The sky's the limit.
Yes, sir. Mo knows, dreaming out loud. If you know, huh?
Is hey, and then one last thing, man. We talking about all this stuff about Black excellence and whatnot within the streamer world, and we got to remember that we culture, man. You feel me?
They don't know about that. Yeah, nah. I like that one. That was a nice curveball. That was a nice curveball.
Yes, sir.
That was blood. Hey, you know me, I'm stupid. That was some Kanye little mama. You what the fuck, buddy? What needed to happen. I was gonna make it happen regardless. You know what's crazy though, Des? On my life, when I went over there to go talk to Rakai, I didn't like his demeanor. Rakai head was down. Rakai didn't have his light. I'm like, nah, niggas need to feel this shit. I don't give a fuck. He just didn't have Rakai's head was down. His whole I didn't like that shit.
That's funny. Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, that was, hey, I'm not gonna lie, stand up for your people, man. At the end of the day, man, I rock with what Tylil did. Now, this was it was kind of crazy what she did, but she's stepping for her people, man. That's a whole nother side note. Dan, that was with the award show tonight.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.